what could be more exciting than joining the Air Force and hopefully learning to fly? To get into aircrew was good, and then to get categorised as a pilot was even better. I was called up December 1940. I've just finished operational training at 27 OTU at Litchfield, and I was on leave and got recalled from leave. Got a telegram saying I had to report. So I rang my navigator, Ches Gardner, who was an Englishman, and said, I'll be called up. And he said, same with me. What transpired eventually was we were called back to participate in the first 1,000 bomber raid, and that was our first mission. It became obvious that for all the expenditure of time and bombs and lives, that the bombing was not as successful as it should be. So it was decided that they would set up a force that would first of all go to the target and identify it, and other crews would shepherd the rest of the main force into the target area. The Pathfinders would then identify the actual aiming point. At that time, the casualty rate on the Pathfinder force was 83%. Over Berlin, we got hit by some incendiary bombs from an aircraft flying above us, and that destroyed the mid-upper turret in which the gunner was there, Joe Gross, knocked him to the floor, damaged the elevator cables, and so we went into a dive, which was almost perpendicular, which was difficult to get out, but we, with the help of the flight engineer and the front gunner, the bomb aimer, we got out of that, but in getting out of it, we got badly off course, and we sort of zigzagged our way over Germany at a rather low altitude and over the Ruhr, which was a nasty spot to be over, but eventually got home. MacArthur had said he's going to invade Japan, and it was decided that the Royal Air Force would supply a component of the invasion force. And part of that component was to be a squadron of Lancasters to build up the Air Force in this area. But how to get them to Australia was the problem, because all the Far East was under the control of the Japanese. Normal way to fly from England to Australia in those days was from west to east. So they named the force that was to come out to Australia eventually, or to the Far East, Tiger Force. And they wanted to have a proving flight to prove that this force, Tiger Force, could actually get from England to Australia from east to west without any trouble. And they said, okay, well, you're the longest still alive, all Australian crew, you do the proving flight. I lost my automatic pilot over the Atlantic, so I had to fly it by hand the whole way, which was a bit of a nuisance. When we got back to Australia, they decided that they would use this Lancaster and my crew to raise funds. And so we did that and flew all around Australia and sold war bonds, and people who paid $100 or more I was able to take for a flight. I would just bundle people in, no parachutes, no seat belts or anything. We just bundled them in, took off, flew them around for 10 minutes and landed them and pushed them out and picked up another lot. So we did this all around Australia And I just thought, well, if they're so casual about us doing this, maybe they'd be casual about me flying under Sydney Harbour Bridge. So my navigator, Bob Nielsen, got married, and we were up there, and he was going to spend his first time, part of his honeymoon, at a hotel in Bondi. Name I've forgotten. I think it's Bondi. So I was going to do a flight that day round the place, and I was flying from Richmond Air Base to Mascot, civil airport, and I just thought, well, now would be the time to wake Bob and his wife up. So we flew over the hotel and low level, which I was allowed to do, low level. And then I thought, well, this is the time to fly under the bridge, so I just did and got away with it.